Hi, Ricky Stewart from Unique Camping and Marine here. Thanks for taking a few minutes to go over a brief training with me. I'll start off real fast with a little bit about Unique. We are based in Denver, Colorado. We manufacture, we package, we produce, we develop and formulate all of our products right here outside of Denver. So if you sell a Unique product, you can know with certainty that you are selling 100% made in the USA product, which is really cool. As well as we've been doing this for several decades, so you know that you get the best of the best. We have really drilled our products down and perfected them over time, and I can tell you with assurance that we have some of the most concentrated, most specifically formulated products that are out there. So you can feel really comfortable when you sell a product from Unique, knowing that it's a really high quality product and that there's some good customer support and a lot of history backing that product up. So we'll jump right into this. Essentially what I want to cover here is the 4 main types of holding tank treatments. Once you understand those, you can really kind of steer your customers, answer their questions, and really help them to find the right product. So with that being said, the first of these is formaldehyde and chemical treatment. These are the old school treatments that everybody has on their shelves, we're all very familiar with. They are problematic for many reasons. For one, they don't do anything to break down waste. Essentially, they go into the holding tank and they encapsulate, essentially mummify the poop and paper. Well, they also can't do anything to get rid of odors because of the nature of how they work. So they just put tons and tons of overpowering fragrances inside there. So with these products, you use them and you're left with mummified poop and paper that will eventually clog up or cause your sensors to misread, and lots of overpowering fragrances. And the icing on the cake with these products is formaldehyde is a carcinogen, so they're also dangerous. So all that to say, I think most of us would agree we're moving away from these products. That is a good thing. Unique doesn't make anything like this because we realize there's no reason to have something like this. So on occasion, you'll still have your old school RVer who comes in and they want these types of products. Well, after this conversation we have here, hopefully you'll have some good information and you can help them to understand why they should move on from that old school dangerous technology. The second type of treatment is a zinc/mineral salt. So these are usually a scoopable powder, and what they do is they go inside the holding tank, they change the chemistry, and by doing so, they eliminate odors. They can be highly effective in high heat, low water applications. So basically boondocking in the desert. They are very good at removing odors. But they also come with some major problems. The first, they do nothing for waste breakdown. These are nothing more than odor control products. Second, they're actually very dangerous. You have to use them in a way where you're not inhaling this powder or touching this powder. And to make things even more complicated, one of the major producers of these types of products displays across the front of their label that they are organic. Now, to be organic and to make that claim, you should be certified by some group that validates that you are organic. To my knowledge, that has never happened with this product. My belief is that they use the term organic in that it comes from the earth. It's organically found in nature. My argument to that would be so is arsenic, and so is mercury, and so is lead. There's all kinds of things. Formaldehyde, we just talked about formaldehyde. These things are all found organically in nature, but it doesn't mean they're safe. So full disclosure, Unique does make a tank odor eliminator, which is exactly one of these types of products. It's a zinc sulfate monohydrate, and it will get rid of odors in these high temperature, low water environments. But we safely package it in a drop-in pod, so you don't have to touch it, you don't have to smell it. So keep that in mind. The third type of product is enzyme. These are great products, and they're often confused with bacteria. The reality is enzymes are non-living proteins, and what they do is they take big things and they break them down into small things. So inside your holding tank, they take the waste, they break it up, and then it flows out. The downside to an enzyme is it can't do anything for odors. It can just break things into smaller pieces. So when it comes to odor control with an enzyme product, you have to use heavy fragrances, which is why a lot of these enzyme-only products have a lot of fragrances. The last type of product, and in my opinion, hands down, the only way to go is bacteria-based treatments. So bacteria are living organisms, and their only goal in life is to break down, well, actually their goal in life is to live, to survive. And to do so, they break down organic waste and they eat it. Now that waste inside your holding tank is poop and paper. It's fats, it's carbohydrates, it's greases, it's oils. We essentially take all kinds of different bacteria, we package them together, and we create several strains of these bacteria, each one specifically doing a different job. Now, these bacteria get introduced to the holding tank, and they come out of their spore form. They're essentially in hibernation mode, which is why you have a 2+ year shelf life on our product. These bacteria are sleeping until you introduce them to food and water. So they get introduced to your holding tank, and when they do, they come out of their hibernation and they want to eat. Well, the problem is they're little teeny tiny microscopic guys, and they can't break down all this big waste. So what they do is they have this little tail, and this tail whips around, and as it does, they create and they spread enzymes all over. So this is where people kind of get enzymes and bacteria confused. Bacteria can make enzymes. Enzyme products are just enzyme products. So with bacteria, you get enzymes. So these enzymes go throughout the tank. They break all the big waste down into small waste. Now the bacteria can come from behind and eat all those tiny microscopic particles. And when they eat them, they digest them. And when they digest them, they exhaust carbon dioxide and water. So you're left with no waste and no smells. Now there are a few limitations to bacteria. One, they have to remain hydrated. They need lots of water, and we'll touch on that in just a second here. The second thing is they need to have a food source, and that food source needs to be your poop and your paper inside there. But beyond that, bacteria are the perfect opportunity for waste digestion and odor elimination in all types of camping. We have a program that we call the Unique Method. We put this together a couple years ago, and this is basically a treatment process. It doesn't matter if you're a full hookups camper, if you're a dry camper, if you're a full timer, you can use the Unique Method, and there's different kind of ways to do it for each of those. And you should have a Unique Method display with some flyers if you have our Essentials Starter Pack. If you don't, make sure you get these, because these are flyers you can hand out. When a customer walks in and says, I have holding tank problems, you don't even have to come back to this information I'm giving you right here. You can hand them this flyer, say, here you go, and it's going to have everything they need to know to make everything work. That being said, no product is a magic bullet. And as great as bacteria treatments are, they have their limitations. So I mentioned water before. Water, if there is a magic bullet when it comes to holding tanks, it's water. If you ever walked into a porta potty that stinks and you look down in there, there's almost always a mound of poop that's up and out of the water. If you can get that water level up and over that poop, the smell's gone. Side note, urine is not water. People often think, well, I don't need to put water in my tank because I go pee in there. Not true. You need water. We tell people to flush their toilet, and when they do it, hold it down for 10 seconds. Count to 10. That will keep that water ratio inside that holding tank enough such that the waste is underwater, the bacteria are being hydrated, and furthermore, that cool water keeps those holding tanks in a neutral zone, because bacteria, just like you and I, don't like it too hot and they don't like it too cold. So that water keeps in that 45 to 75 degree range. So if you have a person who walks in and says, I'm using a good bacteria-based treatment like RV Digest-It, and I still have odors, it's an easy answer. Water, water, water. You need more water. You're not using enough water. So those are the basic tenets of the 4 different types of treatments. As you can tell, I'm a big advocate for bacteria. I think you will be too if you ever get out and try all these. A lot of times people are concerned with odor. It's the only thing they talk about. Oh, tank odors, tank odors, tank odors. Tank odors are problematic, but so is waste digestion. I personally talk to dozens of people every week who have clogged tanks, backed up tanks, pyramid plugs. They have sensors that misread. And I'm telling you, if you have a tank clog or backup issue, it's a big problem. Odors are frustrating, but so is waste digestion if it's not being done properly. So you want to make sure you steer people towards a product that can do both waste digestion and odor elimination. And there's no other product type that can do that besides bacteria. And inside bacteria treatments, nobody else makes a product that's as strong or concentrated or as specifically formulated as we do. We do, like I say, everything from top to bottom, and if you sell a Younique product, you can guarantee this is a high quality treatment. Now, you might have someone who comes in and has some questions you don't know, or maybe you want to take this conversation a step further. By all means, reach out to us. You can talk to me, you can talk to someone on our team. If you have any questions, your customers have any questions, by all means, we're here and happy to help you out with those, so do not be bashful. Please reach out. So again, this is a really basic introduction to all this stuff. Hopefully you've learned something here, and if you want to go deeper on this and kind of dig in deeper, we're here. So thanks again for carrying our products, and let us know how we can help you out.